When it comes to setting financial goals, most people think it's all about saving more and spending less. But here is the thing, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real secret to achieving your financial goals is actually simpler than you ever imagined. In this video, we're breaking down what actually works, and trust me, it's a game changer you won't want to miss. First of all, what are financial goals? You know, those magical plans you make for your money, like wishing for a yacht or pretending you're going to start saving for retirement. But seriously, a financial goal is anything you're actually planning to do with your money. Whether it's plotting the purchase of your dream house or saving $1,000 for an emergency fund. Look at you, being responsible, can see that you actually watched this video before. It's all about turning your wishes into something you can actually achieve. And no, you can't just randomly throw money into the jar and hope for the best. Financial goals are about being specific. To really make progress, you need a clear plan, something measurable, something with a deadline. This isn't about throwing money and hoping it sticks to something useful. A financial goal means you're being intentional about where your money goes and how it works for you. But here is the thing, you can't write every right at once. If you don't have a plan, it's easy to get distracted and waste money on things that don't really matter. You've got to prioritize. Pick your financial goals wisely and tackle them in an order that sets you up for lifelong success. But before we dive into that, let's get into the mindset of setting oh so important goals. Ready? Let's go. Before you set any financial goals, you need to know where you stand. Take a good look at your income, expenses, debts, and savings. Are you spending more than you earning? Is your debt piling up? Do you have any emergency fund, or are you living on the edge? Being honest with yourself about your financial situation is the key to understanding what needs to change. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's crucial for setting realistic and achievable goals. Once you have a clearer picture, you'll know exactly what you're working with and can start making smart moves towards your financial future. Now that you know where you stand financially, it's time to get specific about your goal. I want to save more money is about as useful as saying I want to get in shape. It's vague, unmotivated, and pretty much guarantees you'll be sitting on the couch scrolling through Netflix instead of hitting the gym. Instead, make your goal clear and measurable. For example, I want to save $5,000 for an emergency fund in the next 6 months gives you something tangible to work toward. Break it down into smaller steps. How much do you need to save each month? Where can you cut back on expenses? The more specific you are, the easier it will be to track your progress and stay on course. When it comes to setting goals, make sure they're actually achievable. It's easy to get carried away with dreams of buying a mansion or retiring at 30, but if those goals don't align with your current financial situation, you're setting yourself up for frustration. Unrealistic goals make you feel like you are failing before you even start. Instead, start small and build your way up. Aim for a goal that you can realistically reach, like saving $500 over the next 3 months or paying off small credit card balance. Once you hit those smaller targets, you'll gain momentum and confidence to tackle bigger goals. Setting attainable goals, it's about creating a path that's challenging but not impossible to follow. This step is often overlooked, but it's crucial. Make sure the goals you are setting are truly your own and not something you think you should want. It's easy to get caught up in what others are doing. Maybe your friends are all buying houses, or your family keeps telling you to save for retirement like it's the only thing that matters. But the truth is, your financial goals should be a reflection of you and your personal aspirations, not someone else's. Take a moment to ask yourself, is this goal something I genuinely want, or is it something I feel pressured to do? Financial goals should be motivating, not draining. If you don't care about owning the house right now, then don't make your priority just because it seems like the next step. When your goals come from your own desires, they're much easier to stay committed to, and you'll feel a lot more satisfied when you achieve them. So make sure you're setting goals that are all about you and not what someone else thinks you should do with your money. Not all financial goals are created equal, which is why it's important to break them down into short-term, mid-term, and long-term categories. This way, you're not just staring at a big, overwhelming goal thinking, where do I even start? Short-term goals are the small wins you can achieve within within a year or less. This might include building an emergency fund, saving for a vacation, or paying off credit card. They give you quick wins and help you build your confidence. Midterm goals are for the next few years, typically 1 to 5 years down the road. This could be saving for a down payment on a house or funding a large purchase like a car. These goals are a little more challenging but still within reach with some consistent effort. Long-term goals are the big ones. Think 5+ years down the line. This include things like retirement savings, paying off a mortgage, or investing for your kids' college fund. They require a bit more planning and patience, but having them mapped out gives you something to look forward to in the distant future. By defining your goals across these time frames, you're ensure that you have always something to focus on, whether it's a quick win or a long-term dream. Now that you have defined your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals, it's time to prioritize them. Some may be more urgent than others. Start by figuring out which goals are the most important to tackle first based on your current financial situation. For example, if you have high-interest credit card debt, paying that off should probably be at the top of your list. If you don't have an emergency fund, that's another priority. Because without one, even small unexpected expense can throw you off course. Once your most urgent goals are in check, you can focus on mid-term goals like saving for a car or a down payment on a house. Long-term goals like retirement savings will still be important, but you can focus on them once your immediate needs are covered. By prioritizing your goals, you're ensuring that your money is going toward the things that will make the biggest impact first. This might sound simple, but writing down your goals is one of the most powerful steps you can take. It's easy to have your goals floating around in your head, but when you put them on paper, you're making them real. You're giving them shape, structure, and a place in your life. Writing your goals does more than just remind you of them, it holds you accountable. It's like telling someone, hey, I'm going to do this, but with yourself as the audience. Whether you write them in a journal, on a whiteboard, or in a digital note, the act of physically documenting your goals makes them more tangible. Deadlines are a game changer. Without a set time frame, goals can slip away into the someday category, which is another way of saying never. Giving yourself a deadline forces you to focus and take action. Be realistic when setting your deadline. For short-term goals, it could be a few months, while mid-term goals could take a year or two. Long-term goals could span 5 years or more, but even those should have specific milestones along the way. A deadline helps you track progress, stay focused, and gives you something to celebrate when you achieve it. So write down when you want to reach each goal and treat that deadline as a promise to yourself. After all, nothing says I'm serious about this like a ticking clock. Now that all your goals are set, it's time to figure out how to actually achieve them. Creating an action plan is like making the winning strategy. Without it, you're just hoping for the best. Start by breaking your big goals into smaller, actionable steps. If your goal is to save $5,000 for an emergency fund in 6 months, think what you need to do each month to hit that target. Maybe it's cutting back on certain expenses or finding ways to bring in extra cash. The more specific you get, the easier it will be to stay on track. An action plan gives you direction and keeps you moving forward. It's all about taking small, consistent steps to reach your big goal. The key is to get started and stick to it even when things don't go as planned. As you work toward your goals, it is important to periodically review your progress and adjust as needed. Things change, life happens, and sometimes your original plan may not work out exactly as expected. That's okay. The key is to stay flexible and make tweaks along the way to keep yourself on track. Take time every month or quarter to look at where you stand. Are you hitting your savings targets? Is your debt shrinking? If not, what's going on? Maybe you need to cut back more on discretionary spending, or perhaps you need to find a side hustle to boost your income. Be honest with yourself and identify areas that need improvement. Remember, financial goals are a journey, not a race. Regularly reviewing and adjusting your plan ensures that you stay focused and that your goals remain aligned with your current financial situation and priorities. The point is to keep moving forward, even if it's in small steps. Sometimes, no matter how much research you do, you just need a little extra help to make sure you're on the right track. That's where seeking professional advice comes in. Financial advisors, accountants, or even credit counselors can provide expert guidance tailored to your unique situation. A good financial advisor won't just tell you what to do, they'll help you develop a plan that aligns with your lifestyle and aspirations. They can also help you navigate complex topics like taxes, investments, and estate planning that might be outside of your expertise. While there is a cost involved, the right advice can pay off in the future, helping you avoid mistakes, save money, and hit your goals faster. So if you feel uncertain or overwhelmed, don't hesitate to seek professional advice. It could be the missing piece that helps you achieve your financial dreams. Accountability is the best motivator, and sometimes the best way to stay on track is to enlist a buddy to help you out. This could be a friend, a family member, or even a colleague who's also working on their own goals. The idea is simple. You both check in with each other, share progress, and hold each other accountable. It's like having a personal cheerleader who also calls you out when you're slacking. Plus, knowing that someone else is keeping an eye on your goals can make you less likely to procrastinate or drop the ball. But remember, this person should be someone that's genuinely supportive and invested in your success. Someone who will celebrate your wins and nudge you to keep going when the going gets tough. With a goal accountability buddy on your side, you're not just working on your goals alone. You've got someone who's rooting for you every step of the way. Reaching milestones along the way is a huge part of achieving your financial goals, and it's important to celebrate them. Every small victory, whether it's saving your first $500 or paying off credit card, deserves recognition. Celebrating doesn't have to mean splurging or breaking your budget. The key is to pause, appreciate your hard work, and give yourself credit for sticking with it. Celebrating milestones not only boosts your morale, but also reinforces the positive behavior that got you there in the first place. It makes the journey more enjoyable and gives you the energy to keep moving forward toward your next goal. So don't wait until you hit your final milestone. Celebrate the small wins along the way. You've earned it. Setting financial goals is crucial because it gives you a roadmap for where you want to go with your money. Without goals, it's easy to get lost in the daily grind of spending and saving without a clear purpose. Think of it like trying to drive somewhere without a map. You might get there eventually, but it'll take longer and you might end up in the wrong place. When you set in your financial goals, you are making a commitment to your future. Whether it's saving for an emergency fund, paying off debt, or buying a home, having clear goals gives your money a purpose and helps you stay focused on what truly matters. In short, setting financial goals gives you control over your money and helps you make smarter choices. It ensures you are working towards something meaningful, not just hoping for the best. It was my pleasure to set up your financial goals today. Break them down into small steps and stick to the plan. I'll see you in the next video.